Okay folks, welcome back. My name is Stephen. I am going to recount the 10 days of the scooter Cannonball in July of 2021. Before I forget this stuff, I want to get it on video in hopes that it will be useful for you. The first day is the Friday before the event starts. The event starts on a Monday, and this whole day was all travel. I drove to Milwaukee on Thursday night, got up on Friday morning at 5 a.m. and I took a bus by myself. There's no one else on the bus to the Milwaukee airport. I flew to Detroit, and then I went from Detroit to Portland. And on the flight, I met Craig, who was the support driver for the Cannonball. We get into Portland. We had a driver pick us up. We went to get the big, think of it like kind of like a U-Haul truck. Then we went and met up with a buddy of his in Portland. We had some fish tacos and some lobster and stuff, and then we drove to Bar Harbor, Maine. Left at 5 a.m. my time, and we got in at midnight Bar Harbor time. So the whole day was just all travel. A couple observations, and then I'll get to my roses and thorns, or my pluses and minuses for the day. First of all, going from Madison to Portland would have been one thing, but when you go that extra little bit out from a main city to like one of those satellite towns that are right on the coast, it's like considerably extra hassle to get even further from a main city. So it's super easy to fly like from Chicago to like Tampa, or from Chicago to Orlando, but like to go to Cannonball Island or Fort Lauderdale or one of the smaller cities, you either have to take a connecting flight, or you got to rent a car and then drive a little bit further to get down there. So and when you go to those smaller towns, they don't have the amenities that the big towns have. So all your big box stores, your Walmarts and Targets and Home Depots and Lowe's and all the main chain food places, they're not in those little small towns. So the small towns are more expensive. There's less access to shopping and services, and those small towns normally don't have huge highways there. Like leaving Portland and getting over into Bar Harbor, after we get off the highway and weaving back, we're on like a little 2-lane highway, so it's just slower going there. So just in your next trips, consider, is it worth the hassle going that little bit extra further to get out to that way far off starting point? For us it was, but I'm just saying it comes at a price. So that's my first observation. And my second observation, just about the topography in Maine. I used to live in Chicago for 10 years, so I'm used to big buildings, lots of traffic, high rises, there's just big buildings and a lot of stuff going on. In Maine, it felt more homey, very wooded, like trees everywhere. Rolling hills, you couldn't see really far off. It's not flat there. And not a lot of high rises at all. A lot of 2-lane highways. It was overcast much of the time that we were in Maine, and Maine's just not very built up. So anyway, those are my two big observations. Now for the roses and the thorns. First of all, let me talk about the good things. The first good thing there was I got to meet up with Craig. He was the driver, and just when you go on the Cannonball, you're gonna meet people who are like-minded. You're doing something that's kind of crazy, all right? This is out of the box. Most people do not drive their scooter across the stinking country. It's out of the box. You are different, okay? And you meet other people who think like you think. And when you meet someone that has a crazy idea like you have, you're like, wow, what else do we have in common? Anything else that person says, you might automatically be interested in, because you have this one really weird thing that you both like. So you might be thinking in other ways. So you just meet some really interesting people that want to do something crazy. So Meeting Craig, meeting his buddy Spencer, just really good people, nice people, helpful people. Just, that was so cool to be able to hang out with them. Two, we had dinner down in Portland, like right on the water there. I'm not a fish person. I had like some sort of fish taco things. They were pretty good. They like ate some lobster or something. Lobster. Lobstah. Lobster. Hearing the people talk like that was kind of funny. Rose number 3, got to see like a really cool, marijuana's legal out there in Maine, and got to see like a really cool marijuana grow operation from like little seedlings to juvenile plants to full grown, male and female plants and budding and lots of marijuana and stuff. I don't know, it was just kind of cool. I hadn't seen that before, so that was a new experience. And then the last Rose, after having planned for so long for this thing, finally getting off and getting the trip started and like getting out there, it's like, holy crap, we're really doing this, here we go. And there's a lot of anticipation and excitement about that. Thorns, it was 20 hours of traveling, folks. That is a long day. It was exhausting, driving at 10:30, 11 at night, heading over toward Bar Harbor. You're tired. You just want to get there. It's a long day. 2, when we got into Portland, I still didn't have all my supplies, and I was nervous that when we get into Bar Harbor, there wouldn't be the stores there. So, when Craig was off meeting up with his buddy, I was in town. I had to go back and go to a couple stores to grab the supplies that I needed, and it was just frantic. I was rushing. It was not relaxing and calm and enjoyable. I still had work to do to get ready for the trip, so it wasn't really like a vacation yet. Number 3, once we flew into Portland, we sat on the tarmac from somewhere between an hour and a half and 2 hours as it sat there and rained on our plane because there weren't enough people to help unload the plane. So we sat there for close to 2 hours on the plane after we landed. Whoa. And finally, since we got in so late into Bar Harbor, I didn't have access to get all my stuff, which was on the big semi-truck that shipped my scooter. I didn't have my sleeping bag or my pillow or anything. So although I got a place to stay for free, super thankful. I had to sleep on the floor like just with like a pillow and stuff, and it was just super uncomfortable. I didn't sleep that much. But so could have been better, but super thankful to have the place to stay.